Hey guys, Peter from FBAmastery.com here, and in this video, we're going to cover how to profit by listing new books in used condition, which sounds totally counterintuitive, sounds completely bonkers insane, but this is a trick particularly relevant after Christmas where you can take dead inventory and actually turn it into quick cash in a way that is completely unconventional and possibly even controversial. Let's get into it. Okay, get ready. Here's what you're about to learn. Number one, a trick to liquidate old inventory that works particularly best after Christmas, and I'll explain why here in a second. Number two, how to know if this trick's even going to work for you. Number three, why used books actually sell better than new books. A lot of people don't know this. It's kind of a light bulb moment when a lot of booksellers learn about this. And number four, exactly what steps I go through every year after Christmas to turn inventory that did not sell into cash. Okay, let's get this out of the way. How do you even know if this trick's going to work for you? Okay, so four things have to be in place for this trick to work. Number one, you've got to be selling books on Amazon. Number two, you have to be an FBA seller. Number three, you've got to have books in new condition. I'll explain why in a second, but this trick involves having a certain strata of your inventory in new condition. And number four, you've got to be somebody that consistently reprices your inventory. If you're not consistently repricing, this probably isn't going to work for you, so you should deal with that first, then come back to this video. And real quick, if you're enjoying this video so far, or it's anything other than the worst video you've seen in your entire long life, go ahead and subscribe, but also get all this free stuff you see here. Hit the link below this video, FBAmastery.com. Let's get into it. Okay, so why does this trick work? So to get value out of this video, you've got to accept four facts. Okay, so the first fact is that sales go completely insane during the holidays. Sales for everything surge across the board. No controversy there. Number two, most of what sells, even in the books category, are books in new condition. So books in new condition take an increased demand, whereas the rest of the year, used books outsell new books, which if you don't know that, I'll get to that in a second. But during the holidays, new books dominate. New books are just generally what's given as gift. It's not as normal to give a used book as a gift. I think we can all agree on that. Okay, so number three, Amazon's the biggest store in the world, which is obvious. But the kind of the sub point here is that if something has gone through an entire Christmas season and it's been listed for sale on the biggest store in the world, and it's in new condition, and it didn't sell, something is wrong. So in other words, you got a book in new condition. The demand, obviously the sales rank is reasonable where it should have sold over that month. And it was live for sale. It's competitively priced. Remember I said you've got to be repricing your inventory constantly. Competitively priced, and it didn't sell for an entire Christmas season. You have to accept something has gone wrong and that needs to be remedied. Number four, used condition books sell better than new books for third-party sellers. Now, this is the only one I think might be controversial here. I'm going to say that again. If you're a third-party seller, you will always get more sales of used condition books than new condition books. Now, I should probably do a separate video about this. It's way too big to get into if you're not aware of this fact, but it is a real thing. And if you're selling books on Amazon, you got two books for sale, one's used, one new, all other things being equal, it's a little bit counterintuitive, but the used book's going to sell faster. People buy more used books from third-party sellers than new books. Now, this is factoring out Amazon's offer. So remember I said third-party sellers. So Amazon's offer, the book that Amazon is selling in new condition that owns the new condition buy box, that's probably the one that gets the most sales. But if we factor that out, and we're just talking about third-party sellers, used books are going to outsell new books most of the time. Okay, so that's an important fact to understand why this trick works. Okay, so if you've got unsold items after Christmas, we just accepted the fact something has gone wrong. It's a very, very bad sign. It means that a ton of Amazon customers have laid eyes on your product. Remember, we said we're only talking about items that are in new condition, or rather that have reasonably high demand, right? So lots of eyeballs have fallen on your product, but nobody's purchased during the craziest purchasing season of the year. So something has gone wrong. Either they didn't see your offer, like your particular offer, or they passed on it for a used copy. Okay, but again, this is a very, very bad sign and is cause for alarm. So we must execute our post-Christmas purge. And this is what I do every single year. I'm recording this in early January, so I do this time of year. I'm doing this today. And it's a trick I use to turn unsold books that did not sell during Christmas that are in new condition into quick cash. So here are the steps. Write these down. Number one, I go through my entire inventory and I look for any book in new condition. Number one. It has to have been longer in my inventory, longer than 6 months. That's my personal rule. You might just say it has to have been in my inventory longer than since before Christmas. You might have a different rule. I'm going to go ahead and say 6 months. It's pretty conservative. Number three, it did not sell during Christmas, as I said. Number four, it has to get me at least a $5 payout, or it's not really worth it for me to like do the removal order. I'll get to this in a second, but like all the stuff involved with this, it's not really worth me putting in the work if it's going to get me less than a $5 payout. So that's another threshold I have. Number 5, the price difference from new condition to used for me cannot be more than 70%. In other words, the price cannot drop more than 70% from new condition. So if I have something listed in new condition and it went through an entire Christmas season, did not sell, reasonably high demand, and let's say it's listed for, it's going for, $25 in new condition, and the used condition price is like $9.50 or $10. I can't do math. I don't know what 70% is, but whatever the is, I'm probably not going to mess with it. I'm just going to leave it alone, leave it at 25, wait for sale, even though, things aren't looking good for that particular book. I'm still just going to ride it out, right? It's not worth it. Okay, so step number 2, once I've identified those items in my inventory, I create a removal order for all of them. I have them shipped back to me. I know this makes you nervous. Hear me out here. Then what I do is I take those exact same books, I relist them in used condition, I ship them right back into Amazon. So what's the logic here? Because you might be sitting back like, doesn't make sense. I'll explain it to you. We got these books, they didn't sell during Christmas, and you can apply this the rest of the year too. You might just say any book that didn't sell for the last 6 months, no matter what time of year it is. But we've got to bring these unsold new condition books back to life. So remember the fact that I mentioned earlier, which I say it's a fact. I know it's debatable. I believe it to be a fact that used condition books sell faster sell more from third-party sellers than new condition books. So we got to bring them back to life. Forgive the typo there. They need more eyeballs on them, right? They need the buy box. They need the buy box. Amazon owns the buy box for books in new condition. That's probably why your new condition books aren't selling. And it's probably why they didn't sell over Christmas or whatever time of year it is. So what we're going to do is we're taking these new condition books, we're relisting them as used, again, like new, or depending on what condition you get the books back in. Sometimes they've been damaged, very good, whatever, right? Ship them back into Amazon. And what that does, that at least gives us a shot at the buy box, number 1. And number 2, used books just generally sell better, buy box or not. So you're taking these old books that sit in your inventory for a while and they haven't sold, and you're giving them new life. And this actually works. And you will see a ton of sales once you do this. If books have been languishing, you relist them as used and it's like magic. It's like somebody just brought them back to life and you'll get a bunch of sales. It works. It's counterintuitive, but it works. Relisting new books in used condition is a fantastic way to bring old inventory back to life. Don't hesitate to reach out for any reason, peter@fbamastery.com. And lastly, my promise to you is you can build an entire business off of what I give away for free. So it would be absolutely clinically insane to not subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Hit the link next to this video and also get all this free stuff by hitting the link below this video to take you to FBAmastery.com. Free courses, free reports, free puppy dogs, whatever you want, you got it. FBAmastery.com. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.